How have you been, Gigi?
I've been alright. Just most days it seems fine, and other days it just doesn't. But for the most part, I've been alright.
What do you
What
mean
about
it doesn't feel
you?
fine?
It's like, a lot going on, but it's
How
like
many do
not
you
one of
have?
those things that it's like too much of like a big deal. It's just one of those things which is like personal.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Okay.
for the most part,
You know
everything
what?
else is
Yeah.
fine.
Get half of it in metal
Good.
offcut, and then
You,
half of it in circuit
you,
board.
blah,
Alright,
blah, blah,
cool.
blah.
Appreciate you, bro. See you
How's
soon.
everything going with with everybody else in the group? You
William the
good?
goat.
Oh yeah, I've
You
it.
guys actually let him own the house. I didn't think that would
Everybody been
happen.
treating
That's
you
the
good?
first thing I hear when I wake up.
Yeah, I've been enjoying my It's been really nice ever since we did have some issues in the gang. I think everyone do their agreements and put their differences in moving forward, which I appreciate. I think I'm happy that I called the meeting because it was mandatory for us to all be on the same page moving forward.
Mm-hmm.
So I am happy about that. Since then, everyone's been, as they are. Um, I just been making do, doing my part, and it's been nice getting to know certain people that I don't necessarily used to hang around with,
Yeah.
kind of thing. It's been really nice, and it's been great. It's been really good.
That's good. So how's the other situation? Like your friends?
Uh, they're alright for the most part. I think they've been doing their own thing as well. Um, I can't really say what they've been up to. It's just like we see each other when we see each other, we hang out when we do. I hanged out with them the other day actually, went hunting, which was really fun. Since then, not much has really occurred.
They're not
Trying to
like
think.
giving you any sort of like the before, like whenever they were just like kind of putting you in like a position where like you have to like choose or whatever.
No. Not necessarily. No, really. I think they've been the people I've seen mostly hasn't really cared what I do.
That's good.
I think majority of them pretty much has like a standard relationship with the people here in passing as well.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I'll be honest, I don't know. I feel like most days my head is clear and I'm fine, and then the other days I just feel like a merry-go-round of the same old shit, and I don't know how to grasp someone to reality or how I'm supposed to feel. Majority of the 9 times out of 10, like I just stop caring about a lot of things or putting my energy. That's like no, I could probably focus on anything else, and I think that's been my main focus is focusing on what I have to do in the gang stuff like that to really even pay attention to how I personally feel. Like I haven't talked to anyone really of my personal shit in
Yeah.
the last week and a half. Like I haven't had anyone to really talk to, and it's kind of just been like it doesn't seem as important.
I mean,
But
it is important. You definitely should talk about it. That's one of those things where if you don't talk about it, it's not gonna do anybody any good. It's not gonna do you any good in the long run.
yeah, it's
Want to go
so
elsewhere? Talk about this instead of
yeah, well, should we go elsewhere? Like,
yeah, we can.
consider our situation.
Yeah, no, we can. That's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gwen, did you just say
Go down the street.
this is the hands on your knees? sorry. Hands on your knees. sorry, I can't. I can't not think about that song. I'm sorry. It's just serious. Locked in. Right.
Well, basically, it's I don't know, I just been feeling very anxious.
Like, what's got you anxious?
Well, a week or I want to say or two ago, me and SK had a conversation, and it was kind of to a point where I opened up to him about things from the 5 years and personal shit that I went through that was very hard for me. Obviously, moving forward, I'm over it. But I opened up about him when it came to who I was with, and
Mm-hmm.
I told him I had a miscarriage.
Oh, shit.
And yeah, I had a miscarriage. I was with Frankie, and Frankie ended up choosing business over being with me. He didn't want to come back to the States with me, so we just kind of split off. And I felt like truly alone. And I didn't even tell Frankie about the miscarriage until 5 years later. That was like 3 months ago. Um, so that was very hard. I was alone and by myself. So I went through all that, and then pretty much opened up to him about that. Um, and then obviously he opened up to me as far as telling me things about how it was back in the early days with him, Mandem, and his relationship with Tommy and stuff like that. And it was really something because I wasn't expecting him to really open up to me, but it was kind of one of the things I think he just got comfortable enough
Mm-hmm.
to share that with me. And I really appreciate it. I think ever since we had that conversation, I thought we would become closer. And then the next day, something was different. It was like still him. It was still fine, but then it felt cold.
Yeah.
And then moving forward, we didn't talk the same. We weren't hanging out the same way as we used to. We weren't calling each other as we used to. We weren't speaking to each other on that level as we used to. It was mostly just speaking to me like we're part of a gang and that's it. Or speaking to me like stranger-ish kind of thing, but not as before. And I
Mm-hmm.
don't understand why. And since then, I even try to go to certain people like, hey, has he even started smoking again? Which was kind of a sign, as he said he does when he was really stressed, and
Mm-hmm.
started smoking again. I knew something was wrong, and then a few days ago when I did speak to him, like ask him if he's good, if he's okay, is there anything wrong? He said he's fine and he's good, but I felt like he was lying to me. But I didn't want to be a person to pry information or pry up how he feels. I wanted to give him time, even though I don't feel like exactly what's going on with him. Because
Yeah.
SK is the type to act like he's completely fine, right?
Yeah.
And I can never tell the difference. He's always said like I'm good, but he's tweeting out I'm always blessed, and little things like that. It was just very like there's something wrong, but he doesn't want to tell me. Try to ask certain people, he said he seems fine.
Mm-hmm.
I try to ask L if he noticed anything out of the ordinary. He said no. So, and since then we haven't talked like that, and it's been like 2 weeks. So I just kind of let it be for what it was, and I don't know what changed. I don't know if I did something that hurt him when I shared something with my personal experience. I don't know if I did something. I don't know. I don't know if it's something that's going on with him. I don't know if something's hurting him that he doesn't want to tell me. Like I have no idea. He just completely has shut me out.
I don't think
But it's one of those things which like I don't want to make it like a big deal
Mm-hmm.
because it's probably his own shit that he has to deal with, and I respect that. I just feel bad if he is going through something. I don't know that I can't help him,
Yeah,
kind of
but you,
thing.
you
So
can't you can't blame yourself for everything. I mean, the thing is, I'll be honest with you. I mean, I don't think he's ever really opened up to anybody, at least in the gang, on that level before. So I feel like I mean, if I was in that position where I never really opened up to anybody like that either, I think I would probably feel a little bit vulnerable to that person because, you know, not everybody gets to see that side of SK, like, ever. And I mean, I'll be honest, like, that whole situation, like, 5 years ago, 5, 6 years ago was a lot. And I guess looking back at it now, I don't think anybody ever asked SK like how he's been or how he was whenever everything got thrown on him, because it was a lot to get thrown. Like, it was a lot to get thrown on him, you know. And I don't think anybody ever stopped and asked him if he was okay, if he was doing okay. But that's just because, I mean, we were all kind of going through it at that time, you know. But again, I don't think it's anything you did. I don't think you should be blaming yourself. It's just one of those things where I think him opening up to you is kind of like, he's probably never done that before with anybody. And I think right now, maybe him being the way that he is, it's not that he wants to push you away. I think it's more of like he's just maybe doesn't really know how to feel after opening up somebody like that.
Yeah.
Because it's one of those things where, I mean, you open up to somebody like that, that means like that's a pretty big thing, you know. That's huge. And I mean, for both of you, really, I mean, holy shit. I couldn't imagine like having to like carrying whatever weight on your shoulders like you have, you know, with the whole like miscarriage thing. Sorry to hear, by the way.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I don't tell most people it.
Like that shit's heavy. You know? That's, and I think maybe he also understands that that shit's not easy to carry. So I think it's just the shock of it all, really. So I wouldn't blame yourself for it or think that you did anything wrong. You didn't do anything wrong. Neither of you did.
Yeah, I guess it's just one of those things where you do care about somebody. You just want to help in some way. But you can't, a lot of people deal with a lot of things differently that don't necessarily want somebody's help.
Exactly.
And
I mean, the thing is, he probably knows how much you want to help him. But people, like you said, deal with things their own way. And
I think it's also just been hurting because it's just like, after that conversation that was hard for me, and I'm sure hard for him, he just closed me off.
I mean, it's a scary thing.
I haven't spoke to him since. Like, he hasn't wanted to speak like that since, until, what, 2 days ago he texted me, we should talk. You know what that fucking means. That could mean anything, obviously, so that made me a little bit more anxious.
Yeah.
It's like, that's like the first he said anything like that for me for weeks.
But it might not be a bad thing, though, you know?
Yeah. And then, like I said, it's just been making me anxious because it's like I don't know exactly what he wants to talk about. I think it's kind of one of those things where when you send somebody like that, of course you're gonna panic because like, what the hell could it be about? You just assume the worst. And I don't know. I guess what I'm just trying to say is just like, I don't know if I triggered something and make him feel like he has to be so distant from me as far as they come to me if he does feel some type of way. I guess I just want to be there for him, but maybe I should be there for him in a distance. when he's
But
ready
the
to
thing
talk,
is,
obviously.
even
So.
I think regardless, even if you are there for him in distance, regardless, he knows that you're there for him.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Right.
And sometimes that's all a person needs to know.
True.
Don't blame yourself. I know it's easier said than done, to be honest. But...
Yeah. So obviously that's been gnawing away at me, and I feel like, you know, you girls I haven't really seen most of you as much. So like I haven't really gone to someone that is very close to talk to about this. And I haven't really talked to anyone about any of personal shit going on with me. I feel like there's so much going on with the gang, like it seems like the less important thing right now. So I've just kind of been putting in the back burner. Yeah, I've just been writing like a lot.
Yeah.
I've just been writing a lot, and it's helped. And then obviously, you know, I have some great, amazing friends in the other house. And it's been grand. And then recently feels like there was some things that kind of rattled my brain, and the next day when I really thought about it, I was like, it doesn't make any sense. But at the time, it did get me riled up a little bit, as far as stressed me out even more. As far as, you know, apparently there was an incident of love letters from a month ago sent out to people. And apparently that Raymond got hers and ended up being one from SK, and she told me that, yeah, he confessed his love to me. He was flirting with me at the gas station. He blushed when I was speaking to him.
Hold on. We're gonna rewind here. Did you just say it was a letter that she said that SK wrote her?
Yeah. At the time, like, keep in mind, I'm very anxious. This is the same day that SK said, I need to talk to you. And I was trying to call him, and I texted him, and he wasn't responding. And then after, you know, I got off the phone, she said she ran into SK kind of thing at the gas station. He was flirting with her. He even retweeted her.
And how long ago was this? Apparently
2 days ago. 2 days ago.
And he was flirting with who?
Raymond. So this happened, right? And then I'm like, well, first of all, like, keep in mind, like, I'm inspiring because SK wants to talk. I'm calling. He's not responding to my text messages, but he's on Twitter and he retweeted Ray. So even after that, it was making me seem like what do you mean by that? He was like, yeah, like he flirted with me, kind of thing. So it was only stressing me out even more when I started to kind of semi-believe it a little bit. But you can't really fucking blame me. So I'm like, okay, what? He was like, yeah, like he confessed, he was flirting with me. He was even blushing apparently as well too. I'm like, okay, that doesn't. So right after, okay, let me finish. So after that conversation, I'm spiraling a little bit. My eyes twitching. I call Kitty. I pretty much no backtrack. And I was like, yeah, you know what? It's fine. Like, I guess, you know, he hasn't talked to me really, like, personally in a week or so. And keep in mind, that's the first time I've opened up in a week to someone telling, like, something's been bothering me.
Right.
So I'm telling this to, like, my closest best friends about everything that's going on, kind of thing. And that kind of drops the bomb on me. So I'm just like, oh, if that's the case, you know, maybe that makes sense why he wants to speak to me. Maybe that has to be it. Or maybe it's just like, you know, maybe that why he wants to talk. He's not returning, because I called him right after I got off the phone with her. And he wasn't returning any of my phone calls. So I'm fucking panicking, and my mind is like just racing, and I don't know really what the fuck to think. I call Kitty and tell her about it. She was like, oh my god, I can't believe that fucking happened. Obviously, like, you know, he did this, he did, like, oh, that's so fucked up. If that's the case, like, fuck him, kind of thing. Like, that's fucked up. So I'm like, yeah, I guess so. So later down like a few hours like after prior, I feel shitty. I feel gutted because I don't know how the fuck to feel. Like, so then I just go to bed. I just speak good night and go to bed. And then when I woke back up, I get a text from SK saying, "Don't go to sleep yet." Till way after the whole event, kind of thing. And I kind of was sleeping on it a little bit, and I was like, wait a minute, a lot of this doesn't make a lot of sense. And keep in mind, that was the only two people I kind of really expressed it to of how I felt at the time. Haven't talked to anyone else. So when I woke back up, I did a G6 run with Kitty, and then obviously I told her like how I was feeling with like, you know, the whole talk I'm gonna have with like SK kind of thing. I don't know what he wants to talk about, but he wants to talk to me kind of thing. So I told them about that. So we go to a run, and Kitty ends up telling me, I don't like, I'm paraphrasing because I don't remember this conversation. It's just, she told me, it was like, oh, you know, you told me about the whole SK confessing to Ray kind of thing. I was like, yeah. She was like, well, I'll be honest, a month ago, I put in letters, which I wasn't necessarily all me, it probably was Mickey as well, that put like different letters into different individual people kind of thing. So I guess she had a part to play in it as writing those letters that made it seem that it came from other people. And I think Ray got one that was from SK. And it didn't make any sense. I was like, wait, so you mean to tell me you had you were involved in it a little bit and you knew how I felt earlier when I was expressing it? She's like, yeah, I didn't even realize until way later. It just dawned on me. Like, I feel horrible about it. Like, I'm so sorry. I was like, you knew how you was like earlier, you knew how it was making me feel, and I was spiraling, and you didn't say anything to me. Like, you just So she was like, yeah, I feel sorry. Like, obviously it was was harmless. It wasn't supposed to be like that whatsoever, kind of thing. I totally feel like horrible about it. And I'm gonna be honest, I did not speak to her the entire run. I was so I couldn't even muster up the anger or upset. I just didn't speak to her like majority of that run. And then after we were done, no, after that, we run into and Lottie, and they've like, Yuna goes, I heard like, you know, SK has involved with the clowns, like he's going out with the clowns, and I heard like he did this to you, he's this. I was like, wait, where are you getting this from? Where did you even hear this from? Kind of thing, because like, who's telling you this? This doesn't make any sense. So like, it got even more out, like, because obviously there's like maybe like a miscommunication here, or there's been like people just been spreading things kind of thing, like, because you don't knows about it, apparently other people know about it kind of thing. It's just like, where is this all coming from kind of thing. So I'm already sidelined by that. I was like, no, I'm pretty sure there's a miscommunication going on here. So I talked to Yuno about it. He was like, yeah, I figured that he was going to work with the clowns the other day, and I heard that he was flirting kind of thing and all this shit. I was like, I don't even know what to think right now, because of even what Kitty told me earlier. So after the entire run, I go have a sidebar with Kitty kind of thing. I was like, listen, I don't know exactly what you did, but obviously it truly hurts, because I truly felt hurt like earlier, and you didn't say anything or failed to mention that, and I was spiraling out of control. And if you sit here and say that, no, yeah, because you know, like, I don't know if it was Ray or if it was Kitty that mentioned it to you, or other people that wanted to get involved to like have my back, to possibly maybe even try to hurt, you know, SK because of this, that this could completely went south, right? If I didn't know about it and people got involved and went after him for something that is completely a misunderstanding, I was like, you need to make this right, not because of what your intentions were, but possibly he could get hurt by this. You know what I'm saying? Like, people that I don't even know will literally go after me, even if it's like the small inconvenience. Like, you need to make it right. You need to go talk to him. Like, I want you to go speak to SK about, you know, whatever this whole thing is. Because obviously it does hurt me, but I'm gonna just be mad at you for 24 hours. You need to go talk to SK about it. And she's like, I will literally tell him everything. Moving forward kind of thing. So So now that we're here, and that was yesterday, day before, I don't remember exactly, but yeah. So I don't know if she's spoken to SK yet. I have no idea. But I guess it was like, it was supposed to be a funny Valentine's theme that is a
How is that
month
funny?
old. Right,
Like, how is that
it was a
funny?
month.
Like,
Yeah.
I'm just trying to wrap my head around. Why would, how, okay. How, are these your best friends? Like, these are like people you consider like best friends?
Well, yeah.
Okay, so I'm just gonna, okay. Give me a second. So, you're meaning to tell me that these people who obviously you care a lot for, right?
Right.
Now, you're meaning to tell me that this was a joke that they thought was funny? And they just decided, hey, how about we fuck with her relationship? And they thought that was funny. Meanwhile, you go to one of them and tell them what the fuck is up. And then she acts like, oh no, oh my god, that's crazy. And then the next day, the next moment, yeah, so I knew about that. Gigi, what the fuck? How are you still friends with these people?
It was it's like, here's the thing. They say there was multiple people involved. I haven't even spoken to Mickey. I don't know if he had like a hand to play in it kind of thing. I don't know if it was a harmless kind of funniness joke, obviously, but
no, but Gigi, it's a joke would be like, haha, like, oh, I don't know, something that doesn't fuck with your relationship. And the fact that, like, what, 2 days ago this was for Valentine's Day, I'm guessing, right?
Right.
Valentine's Day was in February. We are now in March. And these are the, okay, I'm just gonna,
which means like she could have probably mentioned it beforehand.
Yeah, they had plenty of time to like tell you and be like, oh hey, by the way, we thought it was funny to do this, but I'm sorry, when you fuck with people's relationship, it's not funny. That's like saying somebody's writing a love note to Jay to get me fucking jealous. I would fucking kill somebody. Gigi, I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, I'm not one to sit there and judge people with how they are. I like to make my own judgments in people, but I'll be completely honest. Like, the fact that they thought it was a joke to fuck with your relationship, and then not to really tell you about it until afterwards and be like, oh yeah, well we were in on it. Haha, we were in on it. All right, these are the same people who came into our fucking house making snarky fucking remarks about where we live when they literally live down the fucking street. So I don't know how it's any different. The same people who basically put you in a situation where you felt like you needed to fucking choose. I'm sorry, but like, I'm not one to sit here and judge people, but I'll be completely fucking honest, but based on everything that you've told me, I don't even want to fucking get to know these people. And these are the people who like want to sit there and talk down to us at our fucking house.
Yeah. So yeah, so basically like the other day, like obviously Raymond told me what she like got as far as those letters, but the letters came from, I guess, Kitty and whoever else was kind of involved in the whole kind of thing, which completely left me very confused and side blinded. Because the thing about it is, it probably would have been a different conversation if Kitty would have mentioned it weeks ago, kind of thing. But the fact that that was like the same thing that I was already paranoid, and when I was expressing Kitty, I think she knew that, but she didn't tell me until way later, and I felt more hurt by it. And now keep in mind, like that was like the first, when I even after was telling, like when Ray told me, I was like, yeah, you know, like I'll be honest, I haven't really been or me and SK, he's just been cold to me a little bit, that we haven't really spoke, and that's pretty much all I mentioned, kind of thing. And I told Kitty that as well, and I think Kitty knew, but I don't think she realized until way later, until she told me. And I think that's the most fucked up part about it all. It's just like the one moment I feel like I'm expressing myself, where I feel like I don't want someone to tell me that I'm wrong. I want someone just to be there for me. You know what I'm saying? I just, in a sense that maybe, like, I don't know how to express, like, just, I'm not looking for you for, like, you know, see, I told you so kind of. I'm not looking for that. Like, I'm looking for you just to comfort me, and me opening it up finally to even like a peek of like, not just SK, but other stuff too, kind of thing that I didn't even get to get at. It's not just that. It's like a peek of what I've been going through, because I just been to myself. I haven't talked to anyone recently. It just seems like, well, now, like, what do I do now? Like,
and I can tell you for a fact. Listen, I've known SK for a bit, right? Girl, you ain't gotta worry about him flirting with anybody. I've never seen him more like, what's the word I want to use? Hold on, I gotta be careful of my wording. Hold on. I mean, I'll just say this much: he likes you, and I think it's more than a like. So I think that's also bro. But
yeah, so I pretty much told Kitty, like, I was really honest, like, my feelings are hurt. I'm really upset.
Which they should be.
Yes, and I told her, I say, if you truly care about me, if you really want to make it right, I think you should go tell SK, you know, your involvement in it, obviously, but not necessarily to a point where it's not like, even if it was a joke or not, but in fact, like, whoever you may have told that was like going to take up arms and try to hurt him, that is a big concern that he needs to know from you.
Yeah.
Not coming from me. You know what I'm saying? So even regardless if it's a joke or not, people may take that as an opportunity to go after him as something that he is quietly, I don't even know he's fucking aware about.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. So that's the reason why I want her to go talk to him, kind of thing. Because it's like, if that's the case, then it's more better for her to have a conversation with him than coming from me, right? So, yeah. I haven't even talked to SK really on a level. There's I'm gonna be honest, it's like the last thing on my mind right now.
Yeah.
Consider what everything's going on. I think everyone kind of feels that way. So it's just one of those things where it's just like, I kind of feel numb to it all.
How do you do it? I'm gonna be honest. I don't know how the hell you do it.
I just write. I just fucking write. That's all I do. I don't think I've ever showed anyone this, but hold on a second. It stops at page 11, but you can skim through it if you like.
Wait, it just said page 11? Not all over anymore. I won't sit. Oh. They've been questioning people's true intentions. I mean, do anything as I am proud of the woman you become. Oh, I don't want to change any of it. I wanted to add so much greatness to yourself. I love your kindness, your sassiness, your ambition. Mercy and gingerness. I love. Oh. However, regardless of how you feel, there's so much more to life, and we enjoy you. Wake up in the morning and tells yourself and makes you. I understand what I went through. And nobody really understands who is what you're. And give up or just get. Life continues, just go on. However, all of it is bad. There have been amazing moments where I can sit in silence and think about and smile. Yeah, I know how to laugh on my own, or try and do things for sure. Jesus. The people I care about feels like greatest moments, and I'll share out there. At the same time, you're all happy for me. I'm trying to forgive right now. It's been hard for me to hurt people. I want to break things. I do releases pain, but it never seems to work. I would crave for attention, but those who matter for me in wrong ways. My years doing things to myself and other people. Oh. Stare myself in the mirror and think what such a beautiful woman I have become to be. I love that. I love that about. Like, wait, stop. I'm actually gonna fucking cry. What the fuck? I know my parents would have been proud, but also disappointed in me. Parents of both. So recently I feel like I can't talk to anyone anymore in a way. All my walls are down and I'm able to be myself aren't so beautiful. I'm able to show all my scars, and these scars are burden that I've been trying to let go. I used to have someone who truly was like one of my greatest close friends. Felt like an escape from a world that sometimes makes me feel like an empty shell with pain and smile on it. Must have making me laugh, almost felt like a drug I needed. That was happily addicted to you, but the person became distant and cold. Oh, no. Wish I knew why I didn't think I would hurt you. I don't like to see someone I truly care about hurting because I know what it's like. Oh my god. She's talking about SK. It's back in the glove box. Listen, I know that like we don't really have a lot of time usually to like have these moments, and I just want to let you know that I appreciate you like showing me it. I know it's a very personal thing. That means a lot to me. But I just want to let you know that if you ever need to talk to anybody, regardless how stupid you think it is, or how silly you think it is, or how little of a situation you think it is, I'm always here. And I don't say that to a lot of people, Gigi. I really truly don't. Because I don't trust a lot of people. But I'm always going to be there for you. So don't ever put yourself and your feelings on the back burner. That means we have to go into a fucking corner and have moments like these. Just let me know.
I really appreciate that, Saint. Thank you.
Listen, nobody deserves to walk around with feeling like you're a burden or feeling like they have all this weight on their shoulders for no reason. I walked around like that for a majority of my lifetime. And now I don't, because, you know, I have somebody that I talk to about those things like that. Because majority of my life wasn't pretty. And it wasn't like this. So, I definitely understand that if you need somebody to talk to you, and talk to them. Thank you for trusting me. No, it's not easy to trust people.
Yeah. I appreciate you. I wish you and the others were more around to see. But, I really am trying. I've been trying for a while, and every time I feel like I'm trying, I'm still doing a lot of things wrong. That's how it feels, and most times I feel like it has felt recently lonely in a way that, like I said, I can't really explain it, but I'm still gonna try, and no matter what happens, try anything that I've been dealing with, life goes on, and I'm gonna move forward regardless, because that's just how I do things.
Let's see how long it takes.
I just wish. I don't know what I don't even know what I want anymore. I don't know what I'm asking for. I don't know.
You don't have to know what you want or what you need at the moment. Sometimes it's one of those things where one day you just find it. But when you do find a Gigi, hold on to it. Not everybody gets to have that early in life.
Gosh, that feels better.
Good. And promise me one thing. Regardless how you ever feel, never ever stop thinking about the way you think about yourself, because I wish I felt about like, you know, that way about myself like you do. I wish I appreciated myself like you appreciate yourself.
See, you're great. Really, like, so fucking great. Just
The
think I
only-
could be around you more to, you know, be around your greatness.
I haven't always been great, Gigi. Believe me, I haven't always been great. For a long time, I was a
here for
fucking
you
monster, so.
I've met a few monsters recently, but the thing about it is, I think I try to become friends with them. Sometimes people tend to be monsters, are so misunderstood, and monsters tends to be just as afraid. just might end up liking one. So, but I'm always here for you too. If you ever need anything,
I appreciate that.
thank you for talking to me. Hopefully all this everything blows over.
Yeah, hopefully. Honestly, to be fair, I'm ready for some spice, you know? Alright, let's go see what these hooligans are up to.